You don't leave a job in just one decision. You leave it in 6 months of quiet, strategic decisions. And the reason so many women either quit too fast or stay miserable for far too long is because we have never been taught how to build stability first. So we jump and we panic. Or we stay and we slowly disappear in the background. This isn't about escaping your job. This is about never being trapped by it again. And if you're new here, my name is Naisha Nicole. And if you've seen my face before, you already know we are 100% locked in, and this is a channel in space of honesty. So let's talk about it. So before we get started, I want to take a second and say thank you to all of my subscribers. I am so thankful to have you guys. We are growing as a community and we are now well over 10,000 subscribers. And I did do a giveaway. Congratulations to the 3 winners. And if you haven't done so already, please contact me. I left directions on what you need to do in the community post. So go ahead and do that. So now I want to transition back to the video. Burnout is not confusion. It's not. It's information. Because pushing through stops working long before women are willing to admit it. And staying indefinitely is rarely the plan. It's often the default. So I want to be clear when I say this. The real issue isn't the job. The real issue is that most women have built a life that only works if they keep enduring. Their bills assume constant output. Their nervous system assumes constant pressure. Their schedules assume constant availability. Their identity assumes constant performance. So when the thought of leaving actually appears, the brain doesn't register it as an opportunity. It registers it as a threat. And a threatened nervous system does not evaluate options. It protects, it survives, is like fight or flight. That's what happens. And that's why so many decisions feel reactive instead of strategic. This is not a motivation problem. It's a sequence problem. See, most career advice gives women 2 bad options. Either be brave and quit, or be grateful and endure. The problem is that neither one of those options create peace. And that's because peace is created by order. That's why you hear me talking about the 6-month peace plan. That is exactly why I talk about it. And it's not to rush anyone out of a job. I've never, ever preached, leave your job right now. And it's also not to convince anyone to leave, but it's to rebuild a life where leaving is no longer so terrifying and staying is no longer suffocating. Because to me, fear is not a personality flaw. It's not. Fear is the nervous system responding to incomplete math. See, when you don't know how long your savings actually last, when you don't know what income truly needs to be replaced, when you don't know what expenses are fixed versus compensatory, when you don't know these things, when you don't know what work stabilizes you versus what work drains you, your brain starts to fill in the gaps. And if your brain is filling in the gaps, it's going to fill it in with the absolute worst case scenario. That's what happens. Because courage does not calm the response of your brain. Clarity does. It's like the best example I can give you right now is when someone tells you, hey, I want to talk to you, but I don't want to tell you exactly what I want to talk to you about. We can talk about it later. What happens is your nervous system starts to fill in all of the worst case scenario things that they want to talk about. And it might not even be as bad as you think, but you've already hyped yourself up thinking it's going to be bad. It's because you don't have clarity. The nervous system does math before logic ever has an opportunity to speak. So the goal here is not bravery. The goal is a timeline that the body can actually trust. That is what this 6-month plan provides for you. It provides stability. So I'm going to go through it. So I want you to get a pen and a piece of paper so you can write this down. And if you have to watch this video over and over and over again, do it, because each sequence is so important, and it's not an urgency to it, but it's a consistency to it. So if you guys are ready, here we go. Month 1, we stabilize. Month 1 exists solely to remove panic from decision making. That's the reason why we do month 1. No serious decisions should be made while the nervous system is unstable. You should not make any major decisions. And stabilization happens on 3 levels. The first one is financial stabilization. This is not a restriction, and I don't want you to see it that way. It is visibility. I want you to see it as visibility, because you must separate what must be paid from what can bend. That's your flexibles, right? From what exists because of exhaustion demands relief. And what I mean by that is that, let's say you work 100 hours in 2 weeks, right? So that's 50 hours a week. You feel like because you've worked all of those hours that you deserve to go buy this Louis Vuitton bag, or you deserve to go buy something that is going to make you feel good. That's an emotional response. We don't want that. Not right now. And the thing is there's no judgment. This is only accuracy, because if you do this, money stops feeling threatening to you when it becomes measurable. That's why. Financial stabilization. The second thing you must do is energy stabilization. And I want you to understand that burnout is not the same thing as exhaustion. Burnout is unreciprocated output. This month removes unnecessary energy leaks. No new commitments, no trying to prove yourself, no overfunctioning. Containment is not regression. Containment is what prevents you from collapsing. And the third one is boundary stabilization. You stop making decisions at the end of the day when you are depleted. Stop. You stop promising capacities that you don't have, because the nervous system learns that pushing does not create danger when you do that. So the end of month 1, the spiral slows down and thinking becomes possible again. That's the whole point. We're good? Now we're moving on to month 2. In month 2, we decompress. This is the month that high performers underestimate, I believe, because it looks unproductive. So if you're a person like myself that is constantly doing things, that's constantly highly productive, right? High performers, this month will make you feel so unproductive, and you'll try to invent things to do, but don't. Because that's the miscalculation, which is why so many people relapse into survival mode later. This month allows the nervous system to recalibrate. That's what this month does. So sleep is so important in this month. Muscle tension release is so important. It's so important. Mental noise will get quiet. You stop rehearsing these exit conversations. And this means at work as well, because I know how that goes, because I used to be a person that will go to work and have these long discussions with people about how I'm going to be leaving soon, how I got this escape plan. You have to stop mentally running the escape plans. Stop it. No major decisions is to be made in month 2 at all. No major decisions. And you have to understand that month 2 is not stagnation. It's not. This is the physiological regulation. So by the end of month 2, your intuition will return. You'll be clearer and your body will be more trustworthy. Your body will trust you. Okay, we're moving on to month 3, and this is where we reposition. Only now does outward movement start, and it's not from a place of urgency. It's from a place of clarity. This is when you update your resume. This is when you assess your skills. This is when you explore roles without emotional commitments. This phase delays decisions long enough so that you can see the full landscape. That's what you want, because oftentimes commitments are made without visibility, and that's how people end up trapped. So by the end of this month, options replace fear. And I said this in a video before where I talked about this woman who she talked in her video about how she goes on interviews even if she loves her job. It's a reason behind that. And it's because she wants to understand her options and know what options are out there. So by the end of this month, options replace fear. Month 4, this is when we test. Fear survives in imagination. We're not going to do that. We're going to eliminate imagination. This month converts theory into evidence. You test different work structures. You test income streams. You test energy responses. Some options look good on paper, but when you start to actually do it, it fails in practice. That information is so valuable. Fantasies dissolve during this month. Reality, it clarifies things for you. And evidence often neutralizes any fear that you may be feeling. So at the end of month 4, judgment becomes more grounded again, allowing your body to trust you. On to month 5. This is where we decide. This is where emotions take a step back and data leads the way from this point forth. What you do is you compare. You compare income consistency, you compare stress load, you compare schedule, reality, and your physiological response. That's what you do. Emotions may inform the decision, but it does not, absolutely does not direct your decision. This is where leadership begins, when emotion stops taking the wheel and driving. At the end of month 5, the decision should feel more settled and not charged, not emotionally driven. And month 6 is where you transition. The outcome is not departure. The whole outcome of this is leverage. That's what you're doing. Whether you leave or whether you stay, it doesn't matter, because now you're moving from choice and not from pressure. Your conversations will change. Negotiations will change. Self-trust will change. And a woman who is no longer trapped moves differently through any arena that she lands in. In any area of her life, she will move differently. So at the end of this month, you have power without panic. And the thing about it is, this is not something that you can just move through. It takes time. So I want to be clear. This was never about a job. And if you think it was, go back and rewatch this video. It was always about leverage. The person that has the leverage is the person that will always win in the end. Panic lives where dependence lives. And peace lives where options exist. When your life is built in the right order, nothing, and I mean nothing, has the power to rush you, to corner you, or to break you. Nothing. And when panic no longer has a voice, peace doesn't need protection. It becomes your default. I appreciate each and every last one of my subscribers. I truly, truly, truly do. I want you to like, comment, subscribe, share this with anyone that needs to hear this. Again, I appreciate you guys so, so much. My name is Naisha Nicole. I'll catch you in the next video. Peace.